What's up everyone, Ninth Jim here, back with another VGC 2020 Pokemon Sword and Shield competitive video, and today we're talking about Pincurchin. Now this Pokemon is pretty cool. It's mono electric typing. It has a really solid ability, Electric Surge, similar to Tapu Koko, but it's not fast and it's not as good with special attack, and it doesn't have the same move pool, so it's a very different Pokemon. But it has Electric Surge, which is cool, which activates Electric Surge when it enters battle, and then that is going to be active for 5 turns. Now, Electric Surge does a couple of really good things. First off, it doesn't allow Pokemon to fall asleep, Pokemon affected, so things that aren't levitating or flying will not be affected by sleep, which is pretty cool. Not good enough for certain Pokemon, things like lead with Togekiss to Dynamax it. It'll still be able to go to sleep. But if you lead like this with Excadrill, it can't go to sleep, which is pretty cool, while Electric Surge is active. So, you know, if they don't reset the terrain. But still pretty cool. Also, it gives you an additional 20% damage on all electric type attacks, giving you essentially a little boost on your Zing Zap or a special attack, whatever you have. But it does give you a boost on electric type attacks, which is pretty cool. Also, things like Rotom will gain that boost if you use like Max Thunder from a Lapras. You know, if you use G-Max Lapras, that can be pretty cool as well. Honestly, it's pretty solid, but the Pokemon, you know, has its flaws. It's not super bulky. It's very slow, so it's only really good in Trick Room unless you're using it to not really care about speed, like maybe a Curse Set or something. So yeah, there's a couple of different ways to use this Pokemon. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about it. So, mono-electric typing is not bad, you know, give us 3 resistances of electric, flying, and steel, and 1 weakness of ground. It's only a 2x weakness, so it's not too bad, and after a curse or 2, you can pretty easily live like a high horsepower or even a max quake from something like an Excadrill, which is very good, and easily something from Not Stab after like a curse or something, or, you know, like a max steel spike from your Excadrill on the side or something. So there's a couple of ways to supplement this a little bit. We do invest into HP, but you know it's very low base, so it will fall to ground type attacks sometimes. So you know, it is what it is. Anyway, as far as our stats go in general, we have HP 48, which is very low, but defense and special defense at 95 and 85 respectively, which are pretty respectable stats. Pretty around, like, honestly pretty average. So it's a little below average as far as bulk goes, because its HP is quite under average, and the defense and special defense are right around, if not a little bit better than average. So not too bad as far as bulk, but definitely leaves room for improvement. Like, it would definitely be great if it had more HP, but it is what it is. And then we have attack at 101 and special attack at 91, allowing you to really use this Pokemon either way, physical or special. I went with physical just because it's a little bit better, and honestly I like the move pool a little bit better, but you know, either way, teach his own. And then we also have speed at 15, which is abysmal. The slowest Pokemon that you'll really see probably anywhere. So yeah, without like any supplements like, you know, Curse or something, or Max Strike being affected. You know, very slow Pokemon. So let's go ahead and talk about the build itself. Get into what everybody wants to see. Okay, so as far as Pincurchin, this build goes, we are running Electric Surge. I think it's better than Lightning Rod most of the time. Certain Lightning Rod Pokemon work, and this could work with Lightning Rod, but I just think Electric Surge is so powerful. Honestly, if something has a Surge ability, it's pretty hard to ignore, and, you know, Electric Surge is half the reason you want to play this Pokemon, at least for me. So, as far as our item goes, we went with Life Orb just to supplement our damage, give us that 1.3 times boost all the time. Since we're hitting pretty hard, and with Life Orb plus Electric Surge, we're hitting pretty hard. It supplements that pretty well. There's a couple of other things that you could use. You could go with Choice Band, hit an extra 20% damage, or that extra 0.2 times, but then your choice locked. And I like being able to use Protect. You can't really use Protect with a choice Pokemon, and then it also just kind of limits if you can Dynamax this Pokemon or not, which we're probably not going to be Dynamaxing this Pokemon very frequently, but I still like it as an option, and with Life Orb, that's a very viable option. Maybe if you get rid of their ground Pokemon on their team or something, or if they don't have one, then this Pokemon can be a pretty optimal Dynamax target with really powerful Max Lightnings, being a good option. So a couple of other items that you can use here. Choice Band, we talked about. Assault Vest being able to give you that 1.5 times special defense, although you'll also not be able to use Protect once again with that set as well. And then we have Shuka Berry, which just halves the super effective damage of ground type attacks. So, you know, things like Max Quakes and Earthquake and High Horsepower will do half damage, making it effectively, you know, a two-shotting thing instead, because, you know, the first time it won't do too much damage, but then the second time it will still do all the damage because you consumed your berry. And then we also have Electric Seed being able to give you a 1.5 times boost in, is that special defense? Hold on, I'm opening Showdown because I'm really dumb. Anyway, so Electric Seed gives us regular defense by 1 stage, which is arguably better. So yeah, giving us 1 stage in defense. The Psychic Seed is special defense, that's why I was off. Anyway, so not bad, giving us an extra layer of defense at the very beginning. Could be really good for potentially curse sets, or Shuka Berry might be land on that. But for now, we're just talking about our offensive set here, so, you know, they're just possible items you can use. Anyway, so as far as the moves for this build go, we have Zing Zap, Sucker Punch, and Liquidation, and then Protect. Protect doesn't really need much of a reasoning, it's just Protect. It's very good. 3 attacks plus Protect is very solid. And then for our attacks, we have Zing Zap for a really powerful physical attacking stab move. You don't see physical electric type Pokemon very frequently. It's really just like this and like Draco's ult that you see. Maybe like a Wild Charge on an Arcanine every now and again, but usually it's going to be physical. Usually it's going to be special with things like Rotom or anything like that. I got a sneeze coming. And it's gone. Alright, so Sucker Punch is really good against Dragapult and Pokemon of the like, and Dragapult is very, very frequently played right now. It's also pretty solid against things like Mimikyu, especially to break the disguise immediately, which is very, very good. We also have it for things like Dusclops, but you'll have to really read the room a little bit better with that Dusclops having to go for an attack, which you like, you know, about half the time maybe go for an attack, probably even less. So yeah, it's not bad. Sucker Punch is good, just that priority, a little bit of damage is good. And then we have Liquidation here for some coverage, which is pretty good. We have some other flex moves here. We have Poison Jab and Reversal for coverage. Thunderbolt, Muddy Water. You could also use like Thunder or Discharge for Thunderbolt. These are just special attacks that you can go for a special set. And then we have like Muddy Water. We also have Surf and Hydro Pump. So it really gets you know, a lot of those attacks. I feel like this Pokemon should have been Electric Water, but oh well. Do we have it? Yeah, we have Lantern. Lantern isn't that great. Oh well. Lantern's cool though. Electric Water's cool, at least. Anyway, so other moves that we have here that are really good. These are like support and status moves. So we have Recover, which is really good. It could land really easily on a curse set. So like maybe a curse set would be like Curse, Recover, Zing Zap, and maybe Sucker Punch or Protect. Running either Shuka Berry or like Electric Seed to be able to just like, you know, stay very, very alive. Curse plus Electric Seed will give you a +2 like almost immediately. You could like pair it with like Follow Me or something. That could be pretty cool. Curse is good. Recover is really good with Curse as well. Just being able to really be very, very bulky and then just live for the whole game could be pretty cool. And then we also have things like Thunder Wave and Memento. You don't see Memento very frequently, but when you do, it's very scary because it just kills you. So Memento is cool, but we don't have a super big HP stat, so maybe it's not the best option, but I don't know. And then we also have Thunder Wave, which is good. I like Thunder Wave, but we're very, very slow, and Thunder Wave really likes to be fast, so Thunder Wave is probably not the best way. But if you do activate Trick Room, then Thunder Wave is just going to be like really, really fast against everything, which is really good. But then like the speed change might benefit them in Trick Room, so it's weird. Anyway, onto our spread, it's very basic. It's just 252 into HP and 252 into attack, and then Brave Nature giving us plus attack and minus speed. Since we want to be as slow as possible, we also put 0 IVs into our speed so that we only hit 18. Very, very slow Pokemon, Pincurchin, which is actually good for this Pokemon. Because being at like the 31 doesn't really help us. I mean, we outspeed things like Dusclops and Ferrothorn and Torkoal initially, but once Trick Room is activated, we're the slowest, which means we're the fastest, which is pretty cool. So anyway, a couple of synergetic Pokemon. So first off, we have Excadrill. They cover each other pretty well. You could even run Discharge on Pincurchin to be able to hit everything except for the earthquaking Excadrill. I couldn't think of the name Excadrill, even though I just said it. So yeah, like you could run Discharge. That could be pretty cool. It also has pretty solid coverage for each of us. You know, like Pincurchin. Also, you'll have to really be careful if you like use Earthquake set for Excadrill. Probably not going to want to land on Earthquake, probably high horsepower, so that you can single target certain Pokemon instead of just killing your own Pincurchin. That could be good. Also, another good thing about this synergy is you can max moves with Max Quake and Steel Spike to really supplement your Pincurchin's bulk as well as the Excadrill, which could be really cool. Maybe landing on like an AV set or a weakness policy set with some defensive, so that they can just both last a while and get a bunch of good buffs on Pincurchin with Curse potentially too. Just really racking up these defense buffs and stuff. But you'll really want to be careful of things like Dusclops for haze and stuff like that. Speaking of Dusclops, that is our other synergetic Pokemon. Just being able to, you know, help damage output with Helping Hand, and then burning other Pokemon with Will-O-Wisp, and of course Trick Room. Pincurchin loves Trick Room. We're the slowest Pokemon, so it's good. Anyway, that's going to be it for this slide. We'll go ahead and move on to our speed tiers here. I'm very far into the video, almost 11 minutes already. Yikes, I talk too much. Anyway, so Pincurchin at 18 speed tier, very, very slow. We even outspeed things like Snorlax after a curse hitting 20. Very, very slow. There's nothing under us, like, is pretty much what I'm saying. I mean, I think there's like one Pokemon under us. Is there? Actually, I don't think there is. Yeah, Shuckle and Pyukumuku. So yeah, not really anything under us. Shuckle's cute. So is Pyukumuku, I guess, but Pincurchin, like, you know, is very slow. You're not going to see those other Pokemon very frequently. Anyway, so things that do outspeed us: Torkoal, Ferrothorn, Dusclops, Snorlax, Reuniclus. Every other Pokemon of the game is pretty much what I'm saying. You're always going to be underspeeding everything, and then once Trick Room is active, you're always going to be outspeeding everything. And after a curse, you'll even be outspeeding those Pokemon that I was talking about before, the Pyukumuku and Shuckle. Crazy. Actually, you'd be on the same speed tier, which is interesting. Anyway, that's it for our speed tiers. I feel like I don't have to cover too much more in this on speed tier, so we'll go on to damage calcs. So as far as damage calcs go, we are at 252 plus with Life Orb, so our damage output is pretty solid. We have our first one is into a Dynamax Dragapult, hitting 37 to 44%. If you hit it with something like maybe a Dazzling Gleam from a Togekiss partner, next turn you can Sucker Punch and you'll hit a lot of damage. You hit 37 to 44 to a Dynamax, or 74 to 89 on a non-Dynamax, which is pretty good. Proving after like maybe like 2 Life Orbs, like, so if you ignore the Dynamax Dragapult the whole time, which you probably shouldn't because it's dealing out a lot of damage and stuff, but if you do, after a couple of Life Orb ticks, and then when it goes back down to normal, your Sucker Punch just kills it. It hits 74 to 89%, so that's like a cool little thing that you can do. Probably, like I said, I wouldn't recommend like just unchecking the Dragapult, but still, cool thing to do. And then we also have a little damage calc here of the Max Wormwind from a Dragapult into a Pincurchin, which will also lower our attack, which really sucks. Hitting 91 to 108%, a 43.8% chance to kill. I wouldn't really want to have that happen, so yeah, it's not a great matchup. Even though I was just talking about how good Sucker Punch is, it's still not a good matchup. Next, we have our Excadrill high horsepower into the Pincurchin, 252 HP for defense. Hitting 112 to 132, that's a guaranteed OHKO. This is a really bad matchup. We do provide a really good returning OHKO, or a really good chance to return OHKO with Liquidation into a 4 HP Excadrill. This is non-Dynamaxed. Or is this Dynamaxed? It's non-Dynamaxed. Or is this Dynamaxed? I made this yesterday, and then I got sick, and I didn't want to do it anymore. So I didn't. Yeah, that's non-Dynamaxed. RIP. So, against a normal-sized Excadrill, we are hitting a 68.8% chance to OHKO, which is very good. But if a Dynamaxes, then yikes. Anyway, so next we have Zingzap into a very defensive Togekiss. 228, 196 plus defense. This is just the most common spread currently on Pikalytics. So, pretty good damage though. 87 to 104%. 25% chance to OHKO. This is good damage, especially if you use this plus like your own Togekiss and Dazzling Gleam. You're definitely gonna knock it out this turn. Or if you use like Rock Slide or something. But those are the two leads that I'm probably suspecting the most with this Pokemon is the Pincurchin Excadrill or Pincurchin Togekiss. So either way, you can hit a turn 1 knockout on the Togekiss pretty easily, which is pretty cool. Then next we have Zing Zap into a very defensive Milotic, hitting 88 to 105, providing us a 37.5% chance to OHKO, which is a little bit better than the 25, but still not super great and not really reliable enough to just go for it every time. You can definitely just go for it. It's fine to set up some damage, but be careful because, you know, Pincurchin's pretty frail. Anyway, that's going to be it for our Dynamax. Have you heard me say a lot? I feel like I've said it every single time that I stopped saying something. No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke. Anyway, so we'll move on to Single Spotlight. So in Single Spotlight, this is a little bit weird of a build. It's for level 100. Honestly, I don't play enough singles online. I think ranked is for level 50. So, you know, if this is a singles build for just ranked online for singles, then change the build, make it 252 HP, and then, you know, not waste stuff. Because this is only a not wasteful spread if you're level 100. If you're not level 100, this is a waste of spread. But this, yeah, it's a level 100 spread build. Anyway, so ability Electric Surge still, of course, and then Shuka Berry is the item, just so that we don't die immediately to any singles guy. And essentially what you do with this is set up spikes and toxic spikes, and then you're able to discharge for paralysis and just damage in general. And then you also have Memento on this set so that we can hit guys and just hit them. You're dead. Get out of here. Memento's cool. Anyway, so yeah, it's pretty much just spikes, toxic spikes. Also, a lot of defog Pokemon are flying, so discharge can hit for super effective damage, which is pretty good. This thing's EV'd out to live an Earthquake from an Excadrill, which is pretty cool. And yeah, that's about it. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm almost at 17 minutes, so I have to wrap this up real quick. Yeah, Pincurchin is cool in singles, but not super great. And same with VGC. It's cool, but not super great. But I could definitely see a couple of different cool sets. Things like offensive, potentially with even weakness policy if you want to. And then also, of course, the curse set, which is pretty cool. We went with offensive today. Maybe I'll touch on a curse set in the future. Or maybe even like a battle video with curse Pincurchin or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. It means a lot to me. It warms my heart. And join my Discord. Follow me on Twitter. Whatever have you. All the links will be in the description down below. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a great evening. Have a great day. Have a great next 2 months. Goodbye.